So, an eagle-eyed Reddit user spotted that the idea of sticking all the things on the global cooldown was first mooted during Vanilla WoW back in 2006, but in an April Fool's set of patch notes, and here it was. The global cooldown time has been added to all spells and abilities. Oh, big joke back 12 years ago. But some less charitable members of the community may be suggesting that the current development team are so bereft of ideas that they are looking for inspiration in the vanilla joke bin. Well, many players have suggested they look back to their roots. Careful what you wish for, you might just get it. But what other pearls of wisdom may be found in those long-lost patch notes? Let's take a look at 10 ideas from the spoof of 2006 that might just become a reality in BFA. Now, I've not been able to find the patch notes themselves at source, but WoW Wiki to the rescue. So, perusing the so-called evil 1.11 patch notes from 2006, I've matched up some suggestions which may well be tailored to uses that either the community or the developers themselves have identified as issues with the current version of World of Warcraft. Number 1, Ian Hazacostas talked about wanting pickup groups to take a range of different classes. So, if a Warlock, a Hunter and a Paladin show up and you've got one spot left but no Hunter, you should take the Hunter. So what about this for an idea? The drop rate for all class-specific equipment will now be reduced by a small percentage for every member of a given class beyond one that is present in a party or raid. This should encourage players to seek a more varied group of classes. No longer will you get an advantage by running Mythic Plus with class stacks to maximise loot distribution. Number 2, it was noted by theory crafters of a range of DPS specs in the lead up to BFA that the difference in damage between someone playing the spec optimally and someone just pressing shiny buttons is a couple of percent in some cases. So in the interest in smoothing out everyone's damage, what about this? Number keys can no longer activate character abilities. In many cases, this gave certain players a slight advantage over those that use their mouse to activate their abilities. Clickers rejoice. Number 3, Blizzard frequently talk about wanting encounters to feel special. This is why I assume they've come up with all the ridiculous stuff like the netball game on Gahoon. Well, what could be more special than this? The non-combat pet Murky will now be required from every player wishing to enter Onyxia's lair, as we wanted this raid encounter to feel special. Of course, replace Onyxia's lair with whichever raid comes out next. Number 4. And what about encouraging the social aspects of a pickup group? People talk all the time about how sociable these groups were back in the day. Well, random battlegrounds in particular can be sources of social strife. Not to worry, the guys from 2006 had thought of a way to make people work together. Each player will only be allowed to pick up one flag per game in Warsong Gulch. While this decision is slightly restrictive, we do feel the value of teamwork it will teach by allowing each player more opportunity to shine outweighs any negative side effect. I'm sure we can all agree with that one. Number 5. They also had some great ideas for class development. In the interest of making every spec feel unique, Blizzard have recently systematically stripped all flexibility from the classes. But what they're doing is just amateur compared with the ideas from vanilla devs. Take druids for example. Gnomes can now select druids as an available class. New cubby... Hang on, no, not that one. Aha! Shapeshifting will now only be possible outside dungeons. Take that, you flexible druids. Number 6. In order to further ensure defensive frailties in paladins, they had this to offer. Paladins can no longer target themselves with lay on hands as the spell was intended to help others. Yeah, piss off. Number 7. Even rogues had their days numbered as well with this little beauty. Moving while stealth has a very small chance to break stealth. This was to reduce the frequency at which players were being ambushed or backstabbed in player versus player environments. Number 8. And what about getting up all your secondary professions? What a boring ball ache. Not to worry, Blizzard has your back with this stunning idea. Players may now only choose only one secondary profession. Too often we saw players choosing fishing, cooking and first aid, when originally our intent was for players to simply pick one or two. 9. And what about bringing a sense of danger back into the world? Well, as it's only really gatherers who spend any sort of time there anyway, why not start with them? Explosive nodes may now spawn in place of select herbs and mines. Damage will be percentage based upon level. And finally 10, to bring some interest back to the many and varied races and classes of Azeroth with the new world PvP system, what about these concepts? Several new items can be found at various vendors which do double and triple damage to players of a specific class or race. We'll add more each patch. But right now, Gnome Stomper, Ancient Warlock Destroyer and the Rogue Bane are immediately available. Actually, I quite like the sound of Gnome Stomper. So, those are my predictions for 2019. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, then please click the like buttons and subscribe for further content. Comment down below and share with others who may also be interested. And until next time, I'll see you later.